Oh. Okay, sorry, I always forget to put the mic in. Hello everyone. I hope this message finds you in good health and good wealth and good spirits and all that jazz. This is gonna be a random real shit message for whatever today is. The 8th. The 8th. Today is October the 8th. I do want to say thank you to everyone. I don't see anyone in here right now, but if you're watching the playback, thank you to everyone. Just thank you, man. Thank you for your support. And I'm sorry I'm like all stopped up, and I apologize for the sniffles and the sneezes and anything that may happen during this. But I do want to say thank you very much to everyone who's shown support for the channel, to everyone who's shown support to me and my own personal journey. A lot of you don't know what I'm talking about most of the time, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason that I don't put a lot of details, and that is because I'm looking for the real ones, because I need real information and just real. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that try very hard and want to fit in, and they sort of like take something and go with it and try to make it their own. So again, I'm being vague on purpose. But thank you. Thank you to the ones that are real. And for those of you, like, there's a whole thing going on with me on my trips and where I'm going in places, and I get a lot of information that I can't quite pinpoint, and there have been a lot of you that are native to these places that I'm seeing and traveling out of body, that have been like, hey, I know exactly where you are. You're by the Mississippi River in such and such state, like Louisiana. And there are others of you that are like, you're describing the energy of this deity, and this is who is working with you, and blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. For those of you that have supported me on my journey and given me the clues and the dots that I couldn't connect myself, because I really appreciate you. Thank you. Now on to the reading. It means a lot to me. It really does. Like, I will never be able to repay you or even express how much those of you that have paid attention to what I'm saying have helped me. And thank you. Whew! There is an energy of healing, isn't there? Gotta love this time of year. I'm sorry, y'all. I can barely see, and then now I'm trying to look through tears, and I see all of you. I just want to say thank you to all of you. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. My whole body is twitching right now. But I can't even read. I can't read it. But I love you all so much, and I will do the playback, and I will look at the live chat. So the first cup out is the 9 of Grails in the reverse position and the 5 of Knives, okay? Do you see that thing holding this person down in the 9 of Grails? The 9 of Grails in the reverse position is not always about not getting what you want. It's not all about wishes not being fulfilled. The 9 of Grails can be a very selfish energy. And this is about being selfless and able to overcome these things that are holding us back and holding us down, okay? This is about getting past the inner conflict, repairing and restoring ourselves, going back to the place where it started, they're saying. And this is for me as well, y'all. I mean, obviously, the intro, like, this is for me as well, like even if it is 100 fucking lifetimes ago. And putting together the pieces and understanding the acceptance, and not everything is a battle, and no one really wins in battle, and just releasing and accepting and facing. There's a lot of facing in order for this healing to take place. The Prince of Skulls. Okay, this is about working hard, and it is a slow process. I do want to say, like, I want to commend everyone who has really been doing the shadow work and just the work, period. I mean, a lot of times I get people, y'all know that I do a lot of work, and I get people like, do a money work for me. I want money. Okay, but are you doing anything to manifest the money? Like, other than just saying, I want money? Or bring me love. Okay, but are you doing anything to manifest real love? I also want to say, like, I'm getting strong, and I have been getting strong, whether it's related or not. There are a lot of people trying to force connections. You don't force connections. If anything, you have to force them apart. Okay? Real connections do not need to be forced together, ever. Ever. This is why I don't condone love spells. Of course, I make everything you need to do it if you want to buy it from me, but I will always tell you, I do not suggest it. I do not suggest it, especially if you can't go to that person and say, hey, I'm doing this on you or to you. Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. Probably a very bad idea, okay? You do not need to force true connections. For those of you that are so caught up on soulmate, twin flame, whatever, you will never need to force it. You may need to force it apart to heal, if it becomes really, really toxic, but you will never, ever need to force it. You will not need to force someone to break up. Again, I make this shit for you. I sell it. I mean, that's just like Smith & Wesson. They're not making guns for you to go kill people. But I mean, if you buy the weapon, whatever you choose to do with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can make you a great meal if you choose to eat the whole thing in a 10,000 calorie sitting. You know, you get me. You understand what I'm saying? I feel very compelled to tell you all, like, it's not a question if we're connected. It's a statement. Do you understand? Like, you will not have to force your connections. You won't. So stop. Just stop. The Prince of Skulls. This is a slow process. Backtracking to where we were. This is a slow process, but for those of you that have been working very hard, I absolutely commend you. And I apologize if this reading is all over the place. For those of you that have been rocking with me for some time, you know this time of the year is very hard for me always. It's the time of my solar return. It's also the time that the dead are very active. There's a lot that comes through. The veil is very thin. It's very hard for me to focus. I have to try very hard to focus on one specific message because it's like a freaking satellite. It's like an open antenna and everything's coming through, and it's very jumbled, and it's very difficult to sift through. Okay, the moon in the reverse position. There is a lot of things being revealed to us. There's a lot of releasing of fears. There's a lot of releasing of past hurts, past traumas, even if you didn't realize it was there. Even if you didn't know exactly how you were going to go about it. There's an energy of it will happen. It will fall into place. If it's meant to be, if it needs to be, if it's time, specifically, if it's time, there is a message of timing here. And it's not like time is running out or time is of the essence. It's like, if it's time, when it's time. Okay. There's a lot of things that didn't make sense. Also, I'm seeing and hearing, I don't even know, we don't even need cards today. There's a lot of things that didn't make sense, and it's like, okay, now that piece of that puzzle, and this is stemming back from 9-10 years ago, is coming into play. You will see things that you didn't understand, like, well, why would so-and-so allow that to happen to me, or why would so-and-so do that to me, or why would I even put myself through that, could even be a question I'm hearing for some of you. Well, now is the time that you will start to see why. Okay. You do have the Prince of Grails with the Chariot and the Eight of Knives in the reverse position coming in for you. There is an offer being made. There's absolutely an offer being made, whether it is from a person, whether it is from what you call source, your creator, your God, other deities, universe, whatever the energies surrounding you. Could be ancestors for some of you. There's a lot at work right now, and this is just the time of the year that we're in, but there's definitely an offer and a proposal coming forth to you to catapult you forward, to help you move forward both physically and spiritually, because as above, so below. There are things coming in to break down old belief systems, to break you out of your prison, to expand your mind, to expand your consciousness, to release. There's a lot of release, and not just releasing of past hurts and traumas, but also releasing of people. Like I said, you will never have to force the connection, but you may have to force it apart in order to release someone. And that someone may be yourself. The Three of Scepters. Okay, some of you may be traveling a great distance to do this. Some of you, and I mean a great distance, lifetimes, or even countries. Even some of you may be as far as the county line, you know. And some of you may just now know, like, I'm getting like some of you have recently decided on or obtained somehow your goals. It's like this Three of Scepters, I'm not getting like waiting for your ships to come in. I'm getting more like deciding what ships I want. Does that make sense? The Seven of Knives. Let me get another card with this. The Five of Grails. Yeah. So there's been a lot of pain and deception, whether this is self with self, whether this is other people, past hurts, past traumas. There's a return. So some of you may even need, like I said, return to that point in life, that point that you didn't get over, that point of mourning, that point of loss. Okay, returning there so that you're able to release it, so that you're able to even focus on, because remember, in the Five of Grails, there are 2 grails that are sitting there full. Okay, only 3 that are spilt. So for some of you, this is literally like getting everything out of your life that doesn't serve you, even if it is people, and focusing on that one true connection. For others of you, you may have to walk away from that connection. You may have to set that connection free. And for others of you, this is literally physical, like jobs, career, goals, things like that. Even investments for some of you. I know that Grails is emotional, but it could be very passionate investments. It could be like, it could be anything. So let's say you have a real passion for music. Like, let's say you want to be a singer. Okay, let's say you want to be a singer, but you can't hit a tune to save your life. If you're literally tone deaf, but you love to sing, then sing for yourself. But maybe that's not where you should be investing all your money. That's never going to happen for you like that if you're trying to build it like that. There's a sense of like, stop deceiving yourself in energy that doesn't serve you, or if it's not, this is a real like getting bare and honest with yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the energy that we're in. It's like, you got to look yourself in the mirror and look deep within and be like, I'm not a fucking singer. I love to sing in the shower, and I'm going to continue to do that with all of my heart, but I'm not a singer. You know, it's like that. It's like, we're getting down to the bare truth, self with self. Or, you know, some of you, okay, I'm not gonna take it there. I'm not gonna say that. The Six of Skulls, okay? This is about really, again, what is meant for you is meant for you. You know, what you are getting out is what you are putting in. So if you're not getting what you want, then maybe you're not putting in enough, or you're not putting in, again, if you're throwing your money in a trash can, like literally, let's get real literal for a minute. If you're going to throw your money in a trash can, you're not going to get anything back for it. So why would you expect to be rich if you're throwing your money in the trash? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's like there's a real sense of like getting real honest of where we're making our investments, whether it is financial, emotional, or otherwise. The Seven of Skulls. The card of investments. Literally, the card of investments. Now, it is financial or tangible earth-wise, because I am getting a lot of like 3D investments, not spiritual investments. However, everything bleeds into one another, right? So there's that. There's also a message here of not going backwards. Do not go backwards. That's not to say don't go back to something that you love, whether that's a business, a passion, a degree, a person. I'm not saying don't go back to that person because that's going backwards, but I am saying make sure that that person or that situation or that degree has grown and gone forward before you put yourself back in the past. Now, there's a difference of going back to the past to fix something so that you can move forward, and then going back to the past where it's stuck in the past and staying stuck in the past. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope so. The Four of Knives. This is self with self. To me, this card is so much about like a representation of herself, and she's sort of embracing herself here. Okay, and in this one she's very stoic. She is a statue, she has wings, and this one her hair is blowing and she's very real. This is so much about embracing spiritual self with physical self. Okay, really, like I said, being honest with yourself and what you are creating, what you are molding, what you are building, what you are sculpting for yourself. Okay, because you are you, and no one else can be you. You make you what you are, whether it's through a platform, a internet personality, a radio personality, a work personality, whatever it is. We all have many faces. It is what it is, but you create you. You do not allow other people to create you, and not only do you create you, but you embrace you. There's a lot of meditation that needs to take place, and that may be even taking place that some of you, I'm feeling, are trying to ignore. You've got the Lord of Skulls here with the Ten of Skulls. This is about being very, very solid in the home, in self. The Lord of Skulls is very solid foundation, very stable. With the Ten of Skulls, the skulls in this deck is pentacles, by the way. For those of you that read tarot or understand it very well, you've got everything working in your favor if you allow it. Do you understand me? There are massive opportunities to, wow. There are massive opportunities coming into play for you to be solid in spirit, solid in finances, solid in business, a more solid person than you've ever been. Like, I was talking to someone last night about self-worth and sort of like knowing you're the shit. And I'm not talking about being conceited. I'm not talking about looks. I'm not talking about body image. That was something that we discussed too. It's very like, I am the shit because I am worth it. Like, I know I'm a good person. I know my heart is in a good place. Like, I know I help people. You know, it's like, I am the shit. I am a good catch for anybody. Be it an employer, a romance, a mother, a father, or whatever. You know, like, I am a good catch. Like, I am the shit. And knowing that and believing that, and not just saying it, but actually being it. The Ten of Grails. What am I telling you? You've got the Ten of Skulls that came out right after the Ten of Grails. Shit's happening. People are moving up, even if it's been, like, for some of you, I'm hearing specifically, it's been a dirty process, and I'm seeing someone drug through the mud. So not like it's been dirty or underhanded, but like dirty, like it's been, there's been some shit to clear out. I mean, let's be real. The world is a dirty place, and it's painful, and we go through many lessons, and sometimes we got to get dirty to realize what we like or what we don't like. I mean, I do dirty work all the time, and I mean, you got to get your hands dirty sometimes. You've got to. And you've got to realize if you are one of the ones that has been wallowing in your own shit, you're going to have to be honest about that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Here's the thing that I can't stress enough. You do not, and I've been saying this all morning, you do not have to be the person that you were yesterday or last year or last month or even 5 minutes before you started this video. At any point in time, you're responsible for you. The Lovers. I'm just going to end it there. I'm going to end it there because if y'all remember all the shit I said about connections, take it where it applies. Take it where it applies. If you want a lover, if you've been craving that romance, you can absolutely have it, but first you need to make yourself whole. Lovers is also choices and balance. It's also the card of Gemini. It is the card of those many faces and when to wear what face you need to wear to adapt to the situation. We need to be looking at what is appropriate. We'll say it like that. A lot of healing taking place, a lot of release, and a lot of being honest with self. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time.